of Olyphant. Hi, Vinny.
Hello. We got you on cam.
Okay. We have Vinny. Is everybody up the train?
I'd like to invite you all to take a tour and come back anytime that you feel free to do so. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll wait till the train to move out. They're leaving, you guys. You have to walk back to Scranton. We fooled you. Oh, if you look to your right, you'll notice the two bridges. One says 1906 and the other one says 1904. At one time, there were 4 railroad tracks leaving and coming into Olyphant because Olyphant was the Queen City. It was like a holy day on Sunday. So therefore they had private clubs. And that's how they started an Italian-American club. Now, I can even join. I'm not Italian right now. But the thing is that they had these private clubs because they wanted to drink on Sunday. Okay, we're going to cross the street while the train's here. Oops, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Let's gather together like a kindergarten. As you're crossing the street, this is one of many firehouses in Olyphant. We have 5,200 people. We have 5 fire companies. And this is the oldest one in Olyphant, and it was built in 1890.
I don't need that. I can yell there. Okay. Welcome everybody. This is Excelsior Hose Company. This is the 3rd oldest company in Lackawanna County. It's still the oldest fire company still operate on the original building. We were organized in 1890, May 4th. If you have a chance to look inside, we still have the pulleys where the horses used to stay, and in the back is where the trough, where the horses used to the drink. And
we like to drink in this town.
yeah. And when back in the day when the alarm had sounded, the radio would sound, the horses knew enough to come to the back, get in front of our horse-drawn apparatus, and out the door it went. Over the years, as the fire trucks got bigger, we had to make a lot of arrangements to get bigger fire trucks in the building. In 1890, we started with 2 horses. Right now, we have 450 horses underneath the cab.
Okay, we're moving right along. As we pass the Pavilion Square, that was originally a gas station. Thank you. Oh, okay. Right across the hello, man. How are you guys? I just want you to hold it down, and I'll just hold the elephant apart.
Hello. Feel free to follow along.
Pardon me?
Feel free to follow along.
Yeah.
You can probably hear me. One of our more outstanding citizens is John Morelli. He was in the Army for 25 years, and we're so proud to say that he served as a guard on the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier for 9.5 years. As a matter of fact, he got the 2nd highest award that could be given to a person in the military. He was a guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So we're really proud of him. And right over here to my right, your left, I guess. He used to have a shoe store. I remember when he used to fix everybody's shoes in Olyphant.
Yeah.
We're just passing the 411
Ed! How's it going? How's it going so far?
Good.
Looks beautiful.
Looks cool.
Okay, so.
Oh wow, very nice, very nice. I show it to them.
How are you?
Hello.
Oh, well, no, you don't have our card.
You might recall that we had a representative, Joseph Warren, born and raised in his house over on North Valley Avenue, and his predecessor was Ed Steamtown. He was also in office for 25 years. So we're very happy to have these people in politics and involved in world situations here from Olyphant. Some of us have our heart in New York City. Up the street is Ken's Bar, and it was originally known as Shuta's Bar. And they have two daughters, and they were the Rockettes in Radio City Music Hall during the 50s. Across the street is Williams Building. That was upstairs was doctor's offices. Trotty's Bar and Restaurant was Witty X Printing. And Family Pharmacy also was a grocery store.
Yeah, it has to be, right?
We're right here at our own check casher, which has closed. It used to be Duffy's Jewelry Store and Very Burke's Pharmacy. Twisted Sisters has always been a beauty salon. These are very known to actually drugstore and client grocery store. As we pass the Andy Turco's house, some of you might remember Andy Turco's sweet shop. We'll pass that further down the road. But Andy Turco was known as the #1 sportsman in Olyphant. Andy is well known because he found Pete Gray. Pete Gray was the one-armed star, started his baseball career working in Olyphant, Pennsylvania. Pete Gray was a one-armed baseball player. And of course we have another funeral parlor. That was Sweeney's Funeral Parlor. We love funeral parlors in this town.
Really love them.
Family Dollar Store occupied in the 50s. It was Candy Kitchen and the Jawanza grocery store. Across, we have to get up here a little bit more. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. Scream out. As you see, we have an 8-story building here in Olyphant. This is the McDade Chinchilla apartment. Now, before that was put up, there was quite a few items. There was Russell's Ice Cream Store, Max's Dresses, Wild Store, and of course we had Taylor's Barbershops. So Uncle's Barbershop was also in this area. So we had a lot of barbers too. Even today, we have a red light. As a matter of fact, across from the bank, there used to be a red light in the 50s. There was so much traffic.
This was a bustling town.
It was a bustling town. We're coming up here to Magney's Music Shop. They let us borrow their megaphone. At one point in time, it was well known for Carl's Portrait Studio. My mother happened to work there. She knew everybody in town. I still get people walking up to me and say, your mother took my Holy Communion picture or my wedding picture. So she knew everybody. And next to Guys and Gals was a Coulter jewelry store, and they also sold religious statues. Everybody bought their religious statues with our field of olive. Across the street, this is kind of interesting, we have the legal room. At one time, I flew a restaurant, and John the Greek hamburgers in Texas. And before the Greek room took over that entire section, at one time there was Newberry. And Newberry started in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. Next to Newberry's was the Woolworth store. And the Woolworth store started in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And upstairs we had Hannah's hats. That was pretty popular. Everybody wore hats in the 50s. And some people wear them in 2014. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We have some new stores that keep coming around. Design to Consign Shop was the men's store. We have Lisa Marie's Country Floor. That was the strolling store. And Childhood Day Spa was a wallpaper store. We have 2 wallpaper stores in this area. As we walk through all of it, you can look up and see the Raymond Henry Post, 327, with the American Legion. You know the architect is really quite beautiful. We're going to walk through that as soon as I finish my little talk up here. Many of you might be familiar with Solom's Dress Shop and Wedding Gown Collection. Solom's has been in the business for 90 years. Second generation always. Yeah. Here at the Olyphant Bay, I went in there and talked to them. It was first erected in 1907, which is quite a few at 1907. That in 123 they purchased over $500,000 in national currency in 20 years. That's what banks did back then, which they're doing now. We're going to go to Willow Street, but first we're going to bring your attention to the first lady to ever join the Navy was Margaret Walsh. She was born and raised here in Olyphant, so that was quite an honor. I'm a military family, and many people have veterans, so this is really nice to see that the first woman that ever came or joined the military was in the Navy from Olyphant. We're going to walk this way. We're going to show you the inside of the American Legion. If you will. Smoke ring shops was Spitzer's, at one time the Acme Margaret, and Yankton's Furniture Store. Take a walk into this hallway. You'll see the beautiful architect. This was around in the 19th. I know this was one of the hottest spots after the war, and for come on, that everybody can see the ceiling. But they used to hold dances and weddings here and bingo. It's a beautiful hall. It's just a shame that, you know, it's the Historical Society. Hopefully they can come in and take a look at it and hopefully fix it. As a matter of fact, come on. So again, this was used for weddings and dances here. This was a big center in the town to have any affair going on there. And of course, you might be familiar, St. Cyril's people are rumors still here. So you might be back in September for our rumors. So this was a bank. And then when the bank sold, it was bought by the American Legion. They serviced the veterans and the community with this hall.
The bar.
You don't want to make me stop there, Beatrice.
The best part of the bar.
You don't want to stop. I think they had a shuffleboard table there when I was here. Cheese?
75 yesterday.
Oh, pretty good.
Incorporated in 1877. The man's name was George Talbot Olyphant. He was the president of the Hudson and Delaware coal line. So that's why it was named after him. This is a beautiful building.
We have a time capsule over there.
Oh, also, we do have a time capsule which will be open in 2027. 2027. So if you're around, we gladly have you join us. The church, the members, the parishioners of Holy Ghost have gathered and went to St. Pat's Church, which we're going to go towards St. Pat's Church. And the next building is the convent, and that was the, now it's called Central Park Flowers. And we're all great firemen and park service, police rescue. That was where the Holy Ghost grade school was. Now we're coming upon our second hose company number 2. And they wish to invite you back. They're having their picnic here this weekend.
This weekend.
Next weekend. July 11th, 12th, and 13th. And what we're bringing you back here to show you is that we do have the original. This is the jail for Olyphant, the entrance. Now we have a jail up on East Park Street on Fern Hill. So there's a jail. That's pretty old. Yeah, held a few people at one time, a few drunks.
So we have
the jail.
down there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the jail door. Yeah, it's just a dungeon. It's like a dungeon.
That's the bottom part you need.
Jail's supposed to look like.
Now, many of you, I was not there over the years,
Where's the
but
jail?
many of you in your hands
Right down here.
received the paper that at one time
Tell, I was never
in 1984 in the Scranton.
That's a good thing not to know. Wow.
We have 27 bars in Olyphant.
Wow.
Now, in 1933, they said that we could have 1,000 people, you could have one bar. In 1972, they said you could have two bars. But as you know, we have about 13 times the amount of bars. And we really hold the national title. And the interesting thing is, the reason for that is, when the miners came, before they went home, they went to the bars. They had what they called a boil maker, which was a shot followed by a glass of beer. And basically what that did, besides, give you a few heartache, is that it just really chased away the smoke, the dust, black lung, that many of them have black lungs, that really moved away the black lung that they worked in the mines all day. And it was really interesting because there were so many bars, because the majority of people during the 1920s, they came from Eastern Europe. And Eastern Europe consisted of, Polish, Russian, Ukrainian, all the Slavic area. So when people came to Olyphant, they went, Holy Ghost was considered the Slavic church, for the Slavic people. We had St. Michael's Church, which was for the Polish people. We had St. Cyril's, which we're going to tour. That was for the Ukrainians. We have a Russian Orthodox church here on Willow Street, and of course they must have been red or white, Bolsheviks, they separated. There's one up on the hill. We have
St. Nick's.
Yeah, St. Nicholas. We have 2 Russian Orthodox church in Olyphant. We have a Jewish synagogue, and then right next to that, did I miss a church? No, I didn't.
St. Pat's.
And St. Pat's was really geared to the Irish. Now you might wonder where we left out the Italians. Well, they didn't have many Italians working in the mines. I'm talking about in the 20s. The Italians really went towards Jessup and to Dunmore. But yes, they did have their own the Italian American Club, that they had their own private bar. So it was really geared, you went to the bar for networking, which was not a word back then, but it was networking this place when people came over. Where do they live? Where do they work? Where do they go to school? Where should they buy their, their food? And many of them found spouses. It was like they're networking. They didn't have a computer. They just went to the bar and the church because they spoke the same language. That was the important thing. So were we ethnically
diverse in this town? Yes, we were. But it was the idea that, you know, you're Eastern European, you're Irish or Welsh. So it was really amazing that how the division was back then in the 20s. It really doesn't exist anymore. The churches are open to everybody and everybody could live where they want. But, you know, like the carolers, St. Cyril's would have Christmas carolers. I swear they must have went to every house on the block up in Fern Hill, which is a hill there. So it's very interesting that Olyphant has really come about in such a way that so many people now live here in this interesting town. We have a population of 5,200 people. Okay, we're going to walk through the banquet hall. And again, you can take a look at Holy Ghost service. That was for the Slavic people. Every Catholic church had a grade school. And unfortunately, all the grade schools have closed. They went to LaSalle in Jessup. And over here to the right again, the fire trucks and the paramedics and the police rescue. Thank you. Thank you, guys. We're going left here.
And of course, be sure to come back next weekend for the amazing Queen City Nights.
One of our most famous persons is Nestor Shylock. As you see, we have a plaque for him, and we have a street name after Nestor Shylock. He was his first umpiring job was at Olyphant High School up here in Fern Hill. So he started his life job in Olyphant. He really had, as you could read, he is now in the Hall of Fame up in the Baseball Hall of Fame up in Cooperstown, New York. So it's really exciting when you go to see somebody that's from your hometown listed up there in Cooperstown. He was an umpire in 5 World Series. He umpired Sandy Koufax's final game, and also in 1999, that's when he was entered into the Hall of Fame into Cooperstown. We also have Kazoo Gazella. You heard the mayor mention that he's related because he actually shook the hand of Babe Ruth. Kazoo Gazella was born in 1896. He joined the New York Yankees on the same day as Lou Gehrig did. They were buddies and they roomed together. Our Kazoo Gazella, he played for the New York Yankees. They won 4 pennants and they won the World Series in 1927 when he was a team player. Also, I guess it was a weekend that they decided to have Mike Gazella Day here in Olyphant, and he brought his buddy, Babe Ruth. So we know that Babe Ruth was here in Olyphant in the 20s. He spoke at the local high school. And Mike Gazella played with 13 pennant-winning ball games. He died back in 1978. So we're really proud of Kazoo Gazella. Okay, we're going to cross, and I'll tell you. We're going to cross here. We're going to walk through the parking lot of the bank. Okay. Also, we had Joe Beckich from Olyphant. He managed amateur baseball teams for 25 years. And before we go to the Bank of Olyphant, here we have our monuments for our citizens of Olyphant who made this the supreme sacrifice, starting with World War I, World War II, and Vietnam. We had 1 person killed in Vietnam, and Korea also, in Vietnam. And if any of you drove here, besides the train, if you go on South Valley Avenue towards Troop, you will find that we have a tank, and we have a gun from World War II, and there's also another monument for the soldiers that were from Olyphant that gave their supreme sacrifice. And every year, the American Legion, we have ceremonies here on Memorial Day and on Veterans Day, November 11th. Anybody have any questions? I hope, was everybody in Olyphant? Like, is this anybody first time in Olyphant? Okay. So as I'm saying, we have Joe Beckich. He managed amateur baseball teams for 25 years. He won 13 pennants, including 7 straight,
7 straight as the manager of the Olyphant St. Cyril's team.
Stay off that path.
Yeah, the tar is kind of hot there. And another popular sportsman is Joe Terry. Joe coached Little League for 16 years, high school baseball and basketball for 18 years, and coached Junior American Legion baseball and Olyphant for 4 years. Wow.
We just did this for like this week.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, that's right here. Fabulous finds on Sunday. Let's start talking.
Okay, when you get out into Lackawanna Avenue, if you look left, you're going to see a sign that says Coca-Cola 5 cents. That is an awesome sign to your left of, and it's a 3-story building.
It's up at the top.
Right. And also, when you go to the Dixon City Giant Market, and you look towards Olyphant, you'll see the back of the Granada Theater. It'll say Granada Theater, and it's painted in the same paint on bricks as they did back in the 50s and 60s. Okay, where you see, this is Main Street, Olyphant again, the marquee that at one time was a movie theater, and we have known that it was also Triangle Shoes. Here at the Olyphant Bank where we stand, we just walked into O'Malley's hardware store, and to your right is the Urn, and many of you might have remembered Marion Feather's gift shop and Pusey's Pharmacy. Okay. Billy's Attic was used to be the Jason's Woman's Store. The new store in town, just up in the last month, is full of independent portraits. And of course, fabulous finds. As we approach Hull Street here, you'll notice Lou's Pizza. That was known for a racing shop. And way down the street on Hull, to your left, that was Kaplan's slaughterhouse. Probably the biggest slaughterhouse in northeastern Pennsylvania during that time. And we have another gas station that was better known as PQ's gas station. Smoke rings, they held a lot of stores. They held Turco's Sweet Shop, at one time it was the Granada Theater, and also had many manufacturers. One well-known one is Ponty Cans. It employed over 200 people, and it was also Pepys's furniture store. We're now walking, Olyphant is, we have our floodgates, and over here we have a monument for the flood control monument of Lackawanna River. And across the river is the anchor. When you give directions to people at Olyphant, you always have to make sure they know where the anchor is. Turn, go over the bridge. See, this was not always empty. At one time it was Noodleman's men's store, Robin's old. It was, you have to repeat some people. It was, hello? Okay. It was Robert's Oldsmobile, Santana's Wallpaper and Paint Store. As a matter of fact, behind the wallpaper store, this started the footbridge years later when it was destroyed in a flood. We had another Frenchville funeral parlor as we walked down. And over here on the right side was, of course, many houses. Looking up ahead a little bit, you'll see Keisho's Bar, another bar added to the list of our 29 bars in Olyphant. The miners, I guess it was a great escape for them to go to the bars. God bless them, because hopefully you'll get to the mine out there in Scranton on McDade. Is it McDade Avenue? McDade Park. Yeah, McDade Park. So right along here we had a Frenchville's funeral home. There was more houses. And as we get up closer was Polishek's Dairy, Kowalczyk's Men's Barbershop. We had more houses, Chumko's Jewelry Store, and Smukula's Bar. Here we have Keisha's Bar. It's called the John Weiss Building.
And that's been around a long time. Well, one great thing about having Halloween, the bars, in Olyphant, we celebrated Halloween for 3 days. One day you hit your neighbors. The second day you got your father to take you to all the bars. Really, we made a lot of money on Halloween going to the bars in Olyphant. And as you can see, the churches, we're right behind Holy Ghost Church. We're coming upon St. Cyril's, as St. Cyril's just celebrated their 125th anniversary. And many of you might recall that Monsignor Hernyuk, he was our pastor for 57 years. And he just passed away in March at 102 years old. We have the grade school here. It's up for sale. It was active till 2011. School, right next to the school. Again, all the Catholic churches have grade schools. Hey, Mr. Masler, how you doing? And over here, as the church celebrated on your left-hand side, as the church celebrated its 100th anniversary from 1988, is our monument celebrating the 100th millennium. The middle is the rectory, and now we're going to enter into St. Cyril's Church. Mr. Trevor has some photos over there. Let's take a look. We'll gather here and go to the church. We're in the church of our pastor, Father Nestor Watson. So we're really happy to show you this. That place for one club. Of course, we have our new body club. We're very happy for a volunteer. Jerry Tully, raise your hand. That's Jerry Tully, another councilman. And Dina Harrison. And we're going over this way. So again, okay, I'm sorry.
How are you?
Good, how's it going?
Good, good, good.
Everything is volunteer. So again, they're having their picnic. What's their picnic, guys? The 11th? The 11th, 12th, 13th? 10th, 11th, and 12th. So this is a good time that you could volunteer to support our firemen here in all of us. Our crowd here. We're going to be right on the corner of Willow and Grand Street, and this was known as Bozex Miners Savings Bank. The miners had their own bank. And to our right, again, at the back side of them, they still own all of the apartments and residence homes. So to the left and be careful walking the streets. As you can see, we're in the back side of St. Patrick's Churches, which is now called Holy Cross, because 3 Roman Catholic churches and all have been combined for one church. We're walking up to All Saints Russian Orthodox Church, as we mentioned. There are 2 here in the town. Beautiful onion dome. And they have a beautiful choir out there. Recently they had a really bad fire and they just spent $1 million damage that was done. Your racial placards for the information here. There's a plaque on the side for the Russian Orthodox Church. The doors are open, I guess, if anybody wanted to go. Does anyone want to go in? There's many steps. But as we walk in here on Willow Street, we do have the Jewish synagogue that we have many Jews
Oh, they're praying? You might not want to disturb them. They're in prayer.
We did have a Jewish population. It is closed now, but if you go, and right next to it is, well, there my right. In the house next door, if you go on your internet, you see mysteries and all things. They say the portal here is the Stargate. Whatever that means, I don't know, because I asked if there was any aliens here. Nobody responded. So, a portal to Stargate. But you have to go on Mysteries in Olyphant. Oh, we have to get out of the road. Now, there are many areas of Olyphant. You still have a Fern Hill section, Gladys section, Costco. So this is just a touch of what occurred in Olyphant. The coal mine was the major activity. When the mine closed, finally out there in the late 50s, many of the areas went out of business. And again, another Roman Catholic church at one time, St. Michael, is now selling Saturday. We're not going to enter Thirsties. At one time, Thirsties was known, many people might know it, was Dick's Bar, Burger's Bakery, and Honey's grocery store, and also Baranski's Bar. There were bars on every corner and every street in this town. We're just going to go in here if you like.
Okay.
You're going to fight me. And I'll stop talking now. Anybody have any questions or comments? Everybody? Okay. And again, once again, we thank you for coming. This is our first tour. It could be our last, I don't know. So we're happy that you're joining us. And again, over here you see this building to the left, right with the trees. That was at one time St. Joe's Convent. And this is the playground to your left. Yeah, it's now a private and doctor's office. Next is River Street. There was another bar in there called the So let's go eat, guys. All right. We're going to St. Pat's Church. I'm sorry, we call it St. Pat's. It's called Holy Cross Church. In the rectory, that's where President Roosevelt came to the rectory, George Street, Father Murphy. Father Murphy was taking a nap. And the secretary, you know, her boss was the priest. And she said, I'm sorry, he's taking a nap, he can't be disturbed. So the president of our country, Teddy Roosevelt, when they called him Colonel after he was president, he sat on the chair on the porch for an hour, waiting for the Father Murphy to get up.
It's that Olyphant had its own newspaper. And this brick building over here, that was a bar also. And the one that I mentioned, the Washington, I believe there was the big White House there. That was and of course, we have another gas station. And that was, they used to repair cars and such items. It was Lynch's gas station. Yeah.
All right, never mind then. But then you
just careful, crossing.
Labor vortex. And they brought in the silk mill here. And North Valley Lot. This was originally a silk mill. And that's how President Roosevelt got to Olyphant, because two ladies wrote to President Roosevelt and mentioned that the conditions were very bad and he wanted to investigate it. After the silk mill, I believe there was a parachute factory also, but what is well known, if you're from the area, you know that Specialty Records. Now, Specialty Records was the largest producing records, vinyl records, in the entire world. They grew out of this place, Specialty Records, and Specialty Records, then it was WEA Manufacturing, and then it's now Sinram, and that big place could be found on the top of East Lackawanna Avenue. And the thing is, at one time, Sinram, which we know now, they had over 3,000 employees
working at Cinrem. I think I was the only one in Olyphant that didn't work there. Okay, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, everybody you talk to, everybody worked at Cinrem. So it was really a place of employment. Unfortunately, employment now, I think they have about 300 people there because a lot of the items were transferred to other states, mostly other states. But anyway, Cinrem was one of the biggest employees in our area for a long time. Because after the coal industry went out, then in the mid-70s, you know, we had a lot of factories here. All the stuff went over to China, so it gradually decreased, and we really need that workmanship back here in the, you know, in our country, and we love to have it back here in Olyphant. And as I said, you'll see the tracks up ahead, and behind those trees is the Burke's Bypass. The Burke Bypass was used for, they call it the loking train, L-O-K-I-E, local train. And they would take the coal from the mines to the left or up the hill, and they would carry the coal on the local track and then distribute the coal onto the railroad station. While we were on Delaware, that we do have a Knights of Columbus and Freemasons in our area. So this really concludes the end of our tour. I hope I didn't talk too much to you or bore you too much, but at least you'll find that Olyphant is a little interesting. And we'd love to have you come back and buy pizza in our pizza stores and buy some beer in our beer gardens. And it would thank you very much for your time. Oh, my name is Lauren Telep. I'm the one that took the photographs and gave you a card. You know, it's a card with an envelope that, you know, free to use. And we're just having, this is June, she's in charge of our Crime Watch here in Olyphant. So again, it was a pleasure. And now you have to wait for the blast, which will probably be about 10 minutes, that we can walk back to the station and you're free to do what you like.
We can go back downtown and you're welcome to visit the store.
Yeah, you can hit the stores in downtown Olyphant. Excellent. We have station.
I will at some point. I'm going to stop down over here for a minute and then I'll be back over. They're giving the Steamtown tour of Olyphant. I believe they're just getting ready to roll out. Hello. Oh, excuse me. Now, you might be wondering, Vince, why aren't you on the train? I'm an Olyphant. I'm home. This has been Shuta for Shuta Multimedia. Have a great day, everybody. It's a French train. Just kidding.